Live from the Akrs Broadcast Center, it's the Nebraska Athletics AD Show with Troy Dannon.
Lindenmeyer, the motion man, settles in the trips right. Hunter wide left. Snap. Latif back to pass. Loads a screen left. Akers of space. Johnson 45 to midfield. Blockers out in front. 45-40. Left sideline to the 30. Breaks a tackle. Tiptoes the boundary. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Huskers. Oh, that was incredible.
Set left. Shot by Weejay. Block back. Great cover by Decker, the freshman libero. Left side swing, Weejay. Here come the Huskers. Back set, right side, Virginia Adriano. Kaboom! Just launching lasers all over the Husker court. No answers by the Trojan defense. 5-1 Big Red.
Sanford across the line with a pump fake. Now it's Mast with the ball, top of the circle. Lost it, got it back. Did Price Sanford. Mast 3. Got it! Oh, my God! Oh, my Lord! What a clutch 3 by Mast! And he did not have to shoot that.
Hake looks to get it in. Into Petrie up the left sideline. 60-foot jumper. You betcha! You betcha! A 60-foot miracle from way down under. Aussie.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome in another night as we chat Husker Athletics. Very special night as we get a chance once a month to chat with the athletic director here at Nebraska as part of the Nebraska Athletic Directors Show. Presented by Woodhouse. Kyle Crooks with you, joined by Troy Dannon. Good to see you. We get a chance to chat once a month. You are probably the busiest man in college athletics right now.
Well, I think there's a bunch of people that can equal it, but it's been really busy. I got back about 4 o'clock this afternoon from the third week of college football playoff committee meetings, and that's a Sunday through Tuesday afternoon undertaking, and then you're here for a couple of days, and then off to Penn State on Friday, and then just rinse, lather, repeat. So it's busy, but it's not the type of busy you complain about, to be sure. And when you got basketball teams that are unbeaten, football's in a nice place right now. It's nice to have a win into a bye week. When you're going to have 2 weeks before you face the question again. So it's a great time. But this is also a busy time because the winter sport's starting up. We're getting ready to hit volleyball tournament time. Wrap up and see where we're going to a bowl at in football. So busy time for sure.
Yeah, it's really busy right now. Are you a guy that's into naps? I mean, this is probably the time for you where naps are most important. You can't sleep 8 hours a night, right?
Well, tell you, I can't sleep 8 hours a night, and I will tell you a quick story that we lost our dog about 3 weeks ago, and the dog, 5 houses, 3 jobs before kids, home with and so. You lose a pet, it's fairly traumatic. Well, we decided we were going to go get another dog right away, and so we went to pick out a puppy, and we picked one of them out, but it appeared that our son, who's 11, had bonded with another puppy. So we have 2 12-week-old puppies now in the house. So if I was going to sleep 8 hours a night, I am up a couple times letting them out as well. So, I do sleep well because I'm very happy with what's going on here. We all have worries in the world. I think the worries that you have in Nebraska are a lot less severe than some of the worries you have in other places.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things going on right now, and we'll dive into a lot of it here over the next hour. But football, and I want to talk about that sense of pride in Husker Nation, and wherever the Huskers go. You could have any neutral site game in any part of the country, and the Huskers are going to dominate it, I think. And of course, the Sanford Pentagon, and you have that, and that was a whole different experience, and there's a little bit closer proximity to Husker Nation. But UCLA, an event like that, when you're in L.A., and I said on the air, I said, Damon, I think this is about 95% red, and I don't even think I'm exaggerating here. I mean, that was remarkable what Maryland, that football game, and how the Huskers took that over. I mean, these are places far away from Lincoln that Husker fans are just taking over.
Yeah, and I think I didn't appreciate and really understand. I knew what the fan base was here. I didn't realize how it extended other places. I think volleyball now, we're at something like 25 different venue records outside of our own. And Maryland surprised me. But what happened at UCLA to walk out and especially with a quarterback starting his first game, and it feeling like a home game, and the noise and the cheering and the adoration like you would get from your home crowd. I think it made his night a whole lot easier. But and it's they're Husker fans. I mean, if you're from Nebraska and you move somewhere else in the country, a lot of times in other states people adopt the local team. And if you're a Nebraskan, you move out to LA, you don't adopt an LA team. You're still a Nebraskan. And so when we go out there, they showed up and showed out. Not just UCLA, but USC a year ago was remarkable, and then the volleyball swing this past weekend. It's something to behold, and I will say it's got the attention of everybody because one, they can't wait for Nebraska to come, but it is like in my meetings the last couple of days, it was the topic of conversation with everybody. One of the first topics with everybody had with me.
And I'm sure in the coming weeks when bowl game conversations come up, if you're a bowl game and you see that, I mean, it's pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, we tend to issue a lot of reminders at this time of year of what will happen, because even last year in New York, an expensive, hard availability at that time of year, and yet we still had about 2/3 the crowd.
Yeah, and what I like to do is talk a little football with you, because you know football and you know this team really well. And Emmett Johnson, the Heisman campaign, and everything that Alex's digital team is doing to sort of push that out. And there's a deeper meaning to that, right? It's showing that if you're a recruit and you're going to come here to Nebraska, you're going to be publicized if you play really well on the field. And that's what Emmett's doing right now. The ability for TJ to slow that heartbeat in his first career start at UCLA. There's a lot of good things happening with this football program, and another big test this weekend against Penn State.
Yeah, and Penn State's playing well. I don't think anybody ever forgot. They've got a lot of 5-star kids. They've got a lot of Sunday players on that roster, and they had their own form of trauma this year, right? But they've played really well the last couple of weeks against Indiana and then at Michigan State last week. But I think what you're talking about with Emmett and with TJ, I think things like that reveal the culture of the program, not just the culture inside the locker room, but just the culture of the program. I think Matt does a really good job of knowing what buttons to push and where to try to get attention focused. And after the UCLA game, he said, "Hey, we need to push Emmett. We need to make sure this gets out." And by the time the word got to Keith Mann that's what we want to do, the plan was in place to do it. So I think everybody's in sync and that's what maybe the football program's done a good job of. We all have very clear marching orders. How can we support the interests of the football program? And so I think when something like happens, we're ready right away. And it doesn't matter if you work inside the football offices day to day or you don't.
And you had the opportunity to talk to the assembled media after it was publicized, the contract extension with Coach Rule. And this is our first time getting to chat since then. But the importance of that and the investment, the continued investment, even pouring more into the football program, just your thoughts on that announcement and how that investment is continuing to grow.
Well, first, most people will judge a football coach solely by whether they win or they lose. And we're going to have Bree Ward on here in a minute. But when the Dallas Cowboy athlete committed suicide, and Matt came out at his press conference the next Monday and talked really eloquently about mental health and about things he had in his program. As I look at a program, I want a coach who has that front and center of mind. I want him to win, but I don't want him to win at the sacrifice of how are we taking care of our players. I don't want to win at the sacrifice of rolling top of everybody else to put themselves on top and front and center. And when you look at culture, no matter what the record is, you oftentimes can walk through the locker room and know if the program's in a good place or not, by whether the guys hang their heads or not, by whether they talk to you or not, just things like that, they're all indicative of it. So, I think we have a really good thing going, and the wins are starting to come, right, progressively. I think everybody wants them to come faster, right? But I think we are in a good place. But Matt made a point when the Penn State job had opened, and naturally his name was tied to that, and he really puppeted something that he and I talked about, and that is, in this day and age of money, the rev share is one thing, but most of the teams we're competing against or trying to aspire up to are finding ways above the rev share cap to make sure competitively they can be with everybody in that group. And we had done an okay job, but we hadn't gotten to that point yet. That was really the next thing we needed to do. And so if nothing else, I think that prompted maybe some tree shaking, if you will, because this is not the day and age. We can't, no longer do we go and ask everybody to give $100 to 1890, the collective, and 1890 can redistribute that money. Those days after the settlement are past. So what we're trying to do really is find what I would say is true NIL. How do we partner an athlete along with a company, and maybe a sponsor here, right? That maybe that sponsor doesn't need to pay me. Maybe the sponsor needs to have an additional a la carte option for sponsorship, which is, hey, why don't you do an NIL deal with one of our players? And instead of paying me, you pay the player. Reallocation of MMR is what that's termed in the business. And so I think we're able to free up, with the help of our president, with the help of our board and getting the blessings, I would several $1 million that gets us above the cap in a way that we can compete with the other schools financially who are above the cap. But it's really true NIL. The goal in all of this is not to go ask the donors for any. The donors carried us for the last couple of years in the world just to get us where we were. The rules changed, stop those donor-funded collectives. And I'm going to be going to the donors for the stadium project. I already am. And so, we have to find other ways to, besides maybe ticket prices and donors, in order to fund the above the cap stuff. And I think we've got a good plan in place.
Let me follow up on that. So sort of the ambitions of that stadium project are there any updates, or sort of what are we looking at in terms of that?
I think I'll have an update probably. I'll have an early December radio show before the holidays, and I'll have an update then. We have taken more steps. I'm out talking to donors about the stadium, and I think the plans are all in place. It's just a matter of what are the protocols now we have to jump through in order to make sure we have all of the I's and T's dotted and crossed as per what our university protocols are.
And in terms of the emphasis and what stadium renovation, why it's needed to sort of revamp the minds of people out there that don't understand why it's so important that this place needs a facelift.
Well, I would tell you there's three things. One, just the fan experience. The stadium offers a fan experience that was acceptable at a certain point in time, but when you compare the fan experiences that are out there today, it doesn't hold a candle to it. We've seen just with the concessions this year, the stadium's just not equipped to basically operate in today's world. So one, we need to get that done. Two, it's 100 years old, and the South End is 50, and so we haven't done a lot of work. There's a lot of deferred maintenance. There's just a lot of core structural work, frankly, that is long overdue, and so that may be the most important part. I'm not saying there's life safety issues, but I am saying that there is a point in time when the concrete and the rebar is 100 years old. Mm-hmm. And where the sewer tiles are 100 years old, and things that needed to be updated. And that's true with every old stadium anywhere in the country. The goal, I think, is to have a stadium that's, I would say, multi-generational, that when the stadium is done, the South End was done 50 years ago. When the stadium is done, it will serve our kids and their kids. The next two generations will be served by the stadium the way our generation and our predecessors' generation was served by it. And so making sure that's the case. And really the third thing is the stadium is a revenue engine. And I'll get killed over reseating. I'll get killed in volleyball. I'll get killed in football when we reseat. But the fact of the matter is reseating is fairly commonplace. Mm-hmm. And the biggest area to generate revenue in an athletic department is its football stadium. And if you look at the size of the stadium versus what we generate in the stadium, we're probably generating 50% per game of what we should. What a normal stadium that seats, we technically seat 82,000 and change. We say 90 a lot, but there's 82,000 and change in there from a seat standpoint. We're generating about 50% of what we should. When the stadium, the renovation's done, we'll generate what we should. And it's that money then that gets fed back into the athletes. It gets fed back into the program to help things continue to grow. It's almost a self-perpetuating engine, if you will, financial engine. So if you look at the why, those are the 3 whys, why that's the stadium project needs to happen. And you can say, well, we don't need the money, or the fan experience is fine. And that's great, but it's still 100 years old. And there are still maintenance issues and repair issues that come with a 100-year-old stadium. And the 50-year-old on the south end. There are things that have to be done. If you don't win a football game, and if you don't want anything to change, it has to be done just because of the age of the stadium.
And you mentioned the reseating at volleyball and the expansion now of John Cook Arena, adding more seats in there. Where does that stand and that whole process?
So when the last events are done in the arena this spring, after gymnastics and wrestling are all done in there, we'll shut it down, replace all the seating, add about 1,500 seats, mostly to the upper, I believe, north side, which is the side where they're standing room only right now. That plywood covers the old treads from when it was just a basketball arena, and we'll get a little bit over 10,000 from a capacity standpoint. We will chair back seat the 3 of the 4 levels on the lower. All the students will be on one end. I think the end, if you're looking at it from facing the benches, it would be to your right, is where all the students will congregate. There'll be some seating movement along with it, and the one thing that I think is really important, and that I'm probably proud that our crew, particularly Tyler Kai, found a way to get done, is no one will lose their seats. If you have season tickets, you'll have them. They may not be where you want them or where they were now. That's the reseat part. But nobody's getting kicked out of the building. It may be a different seat than people are used to, and that comes with pain. It's never been done here. I'm going to guess that nobody wanted to take the pain on that comes with it. However, if you want to be a fully functional 2025 athletic department, this is what you do. So that will happen. And then the part that will be behind the scenes a little bit, the volleyball locker room space, team room space, really hasn't been touched since we moved into the building, and that will be updated and modernized. Some of maybe of the modalities for physical treatment and not just rehab, but recuperation will be integrated into that. So they'll have, as they should, a first-class space.
Changes, it's necessary, and sometimes it's hard, but change is good, and this is good.
Well, it's good from my standpoint, but change is necessary.
Yeah.
And no matter how much success you're having or not having, it doesn't remove the need to change and evolve along the way.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there in the first segment. We have an important segment coming up. They're all important, but this segment specifically, Bree Ward, Director of Sports Psychology, will join us in the next segment. So important conversation coming up after the break. Fans, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Also, the Husker Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Bree Ward joins us next here on the Nebraska Athletic Directors Show.
Hey Husker fans, get game ready at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Nebraska Cornhusker shopping experience. Upgrade your tailgate gear, shop officially licensed Nebraska clothing for the family, or load up on hats, gifts, and accessories. Spend $150 and you'll receive a $10 reward on your next purchase with Alumni Hall's Hall Pass rewards. Nebraska students, faculty, and military receive 10% off when shopping in store. Come shop at Alumni Hall, located in downtown and in the South Point Pavilion in Lincoln, or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Husker fans shop.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $3,250 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and $0 down.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When it comes to irrigation, only the best will do. That's why growers trust Valley Genuine Parts. Gearboxes, center drives, sprinklers, tech, and more. The parts you rely on most for any pivot, any brand, all from Valley. And now save $50 on your next purchase of Valley Genuine Parts or service. Claim online at valleyirrigation.com/parts. Your Valley dealer has the inventory you need, plus expert inspections and fast, reliable service. Claim your $50 savings today at valleyirrigation.com/parts.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
Husker fans, we need your help. Nebraska is competing against other Big Ten schools in the Abbott We Give Blood Challenge, and it's time to defend our title. You can donate towards Nebraska anytime, any place, anywhere. Just find a donation center near you and log it in on big10.org/Abbott to help the Huskers win $1 million towards their school. Every donation counts. Let's show the Big Ten the power of Husker Nation. Very close right now, very close with Wisconsin. So let's get out there and donate. Kyle Crooks back here on the Nebraska Athletics Director Show, presented by Woodhouse. We have Troy Dannon here and joined by a very special guest, Bree Ward, Director of Sports Psychology. Bree, it's very, very good to talk to you. First time doing a radio interview, but this is easy stuff, right? Saw Troy do it in segment one. It's nothing.
I'm trusting you guys.
So tell the fans a little bit about what you do and your role here with athletics.
So here I oversee our sports psychology department. All of my staff, we have 4 full-time staff that provide both mental health and performance-based services to all of our student athletes. And we are embedded in teams, and so we get out to practices, we go to games, we're able to build relationships with both student athletes and coaches to make sure that our student athletes are performing at the best version of themselves on and off the court.
And we were talking during the commercial break about how the importance of this role specifically with the proliferation of social media. It's changed the game for athletes, and now athletes are being paid, and there's certain pressures that come along with that. But just how much has that maybe changed the landscape of your job with social media and some of the pressures that they deal with daily?
Immensely. I have more conversations about social media in my office than I ever have in the last few years. Typically, when you think about college student athletes, they face issues with balancing time between being a student, being an athlete, managing being away from home for the first time, figuring out where their classes are, how to manage their new team, all of those types of things, figuring out how to go from being the best athlete on their maybe high school team or their prior team to coming here and being on a team with the best athletes from all sorts of teams. And with social media, everyone is connected so quickly. And so you're seeing things in real time within seconds, right? And our athletes are under constant scrutiny on social media and with all sorts of comments. And I'm constantly talking with our athletes about how to manage comments and manage posts and people from all across the world seeing our athletes' posts and what they're doing with their life and having all sorts of opinions about that.
Well, in gambling, which is a new factor, but just when things don't happen right, and people blame their gambling loss on an athlete and then reach out to the athlete. I mean, there's examples out there of athletes just getting Venmo requests for money. I lost $100. You owe me $100, and so it's added a whole new facet. I know a good friend of mine, Brendan Bussman, is listening tonight, and he's on the other side of the gambling issue, and we talk a lot about how do you govern gambling in its macro form, but at this micro level, athletes tend to leave their direct messages open. I don't. I'd be scared to death of what I'd get. But when they do that, sometimes those people that are out there gambling, and our coaches get it as well, but that it's just a proliferation of a whole new set of problems that has popped up here in the last 5 years.
And Bree, let me ask you, in terms of the tactics of, because when you're a public figure, it's tough. Social media is tough. So how do you deal with it? What are some of those conversations like? It's tailored to each athlete. It's different, right? There's different circumstances for different athletes. But what are some of the recommendations? If there's a student athlete that's listening tonight and says, hey, I'm going through a really tough time, Bree, just generic 30,000-foot view, what would your advice be to that athlete?
A couple of main conversations I have with athletes is figuring out how to filter your comments, figuring out which comments you want to put energy towards, and specifically who is your audience as the athlete on social media. And when we also think about the financial component connected to college athletics now, oftentimes NIL deals and companies will reach out to athletes through DMs, and oftentimes I hear from athletes, well, I can't turn off my DMs or else I might lose out on money or a really good NIL deal. And I talk with them about what's more important to you, your mental health and managing DMs, or is it that financial component? And that varies for our athletes. Some things are more important than others. But having those conversations and figuring out what they want from their social media account is important.
I think it's hard to, as a fan, you got to remember there's the gambling aspect, right? And as some fans think of student athletes as commodities, right? Go out and make me money. But these are 18 to 22-year-old young men that are away from that are freshmen, true freshmen, away from their family for the first time. I'm sure you get that a lot in terms of being homesick and the pressures of being away from family, right?
Absolutely, all the time. And I think oftentimes we can forget that our athletes that are carrying so much for the universities and for their teams, that they are still figuring out life for themselves and figuring out kind of small things, how to manage their schedule, how to manage money, how to figure out how to do all their homework with their practice schedule, those types of things. And so allowing our athletes some grace is always helpful. Chatting with Bree Ward, Director of Sports Psychology. Where did the passion for this come from
for you? What's sort of the background that led to you getting in this spot with such an important role here for Husker Athletics?
I've always been passionate about the mind-body connection, and with our athletes, that's imperative to their performance on the court. And I'm a Nebraska native, and so getting back to my home state and supporting our athletes was a great career move for me.
Yeah. So you grew up? Did you grow up a Husker fan?
I did.
You did?
Yep. Going to football games, going to volleyball games, and it's really a dream come true to be able to work here and support our athletes.
Just how rewarding is this position that you get to create relationships from a ground floor when they first step on campus to when they graduate, and you see what they battled through when they were, I know it fluctuates with the transfer portal now and people come in and out, but when they're 18 years old and they're seeing things for the first time and wide-eyed to now they're 22, 23 years old and they've gone through some tough battles. Pretty rewarding of a profession, isn't it?
It's the favorite part of my job, is just seeing them through their journey here and seeing how they've grown and how they've changed and the person that they've become. It's my absolute favorite part of the job.
Well, Bree, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead, Troy.
You know, it's amazing. Sometimes we do forget a lot because our athletes are so mature, so polished. When they're behind a microphone, you have no idea they're 20 years old and a junior in college. And so we kind of lose sight sometimes that they're 20 years old and a junior in college. And you know, and I hear a lot, well, they're getting paid now. They don't owe anybody anything because they're getting paid now. That didn't change the game at all. And Bree was exactly right. And that, you know, trying to help them keep perspective and trying, you know, as much as we tout winning and we do all of our social media, we have to be careful too with our own perspective in how we're promoting our athletes and knowing maybe sometimes when we need to keep a certain athlete, you know, out of the spotlight because of things that they're dealing with that no one will ever see. And that's the value of Bree and her unit, which I think may be now the largest unit in the league. And it just maybe speaks to the emphasis that we're going to put on this particular area of care for our athletes, because you know, your experience when you walk out here is going to be defined by, you know, nutrition and academic support and physical support and your sports medicine, but also the behavioral health. So hopefully when the athletes walk out of here, they're well prepared to succeed in life because everything we gave them along the way here.
And light bulbs just sort of went off when you were talking, but working with coaches too, because maybe coaches can talk to a player on a certain wavelength, but maybe can't talk to them the way that you could and have conversations that you could. In your position, how much do you get a chance to work with the coaches and say, hey, you know, player X is dealing with this, and let's find a path forward?
So in my role, we have all of our services are confidential, which is a very important component of that trust factor with athletes. We want our athletes to be able to come into our office and really work through some things. That's part of the treatment process. Oftentimes we talk with coaches about observations we're seeing at practices and in games, and helping guide the coaches to maybe in a different coaching strategy to coach the athlete a little bit differently, or helping them understand other perspectives when it comes to the athlete. Maybe they're dealing with this or that, and that's why they're acting this way, just to help manage kind of that culture within the team, because those things can come up as well.
I think that's a very interesting nugget, working with the coaches in that regard, aside from working in the personal way with the athlete. I think that's really, really cool. Well, Bree, the work that you do is tremendous, and it's really, really important nowadays. So we thank you. Radio debut is in the camp. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Troy, great stuff, right?
She did a great job.
She's a natural.
She did a great job.
Bree Ward, Director of Sports Psychology. Great stuff from her. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We continue with Troy Dannon. That is next.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $32.50 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and $0 down.
At Central Valley Ag, starting calves strong means setting up your success. Purina Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is now available. Help your herd thrive with proven performance you can count on. Right now, when you buy 2 tons or more, you'll get a free mug, limit 1 per purchaser. Start them strong, harness the benefits. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Call SOS, a trustworthy company since 1950. Their technicians don't earn commission. This equals fair treatment to their customers. SOS is a family-owned third-generation company, and now to celebrate the 75th year in business for a limited time, get a new York AC or furnace for $75 per month. Get you and your loved ones comfortable again with SOS.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Call 402-391-2336.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Fans, the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Back on the Nebraska Athletic Director Show, presented by Woodhouse Kyle Crooks, joined by Troy Dannon. Great segment with Bree Ward, the director of sports psychology. We'll have it posted on the podcast if you want to go back and listen to the entire show. Also, tonight we have the Nebraska Volleyball Show, which is coming up after us. John Baylor and Danny Busboom Kelly will talk about the weekend that was out in L.A. We talked about all the attendance records and such. So we'll talk a little bit more volleyball as we go. We'll be here to the top of the hour. But we did want to mention this because you've gotten some emails about a possible new mascot, and I just wanted you to get the chance to address that.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody decided that we should have a female Herbie, and so started an email campaign, and then a couple of local establishments posted the QR code so people can send an email and an automated email. And I would say we're not adding a mascot, but I also vetted it. Automated emails tend to find the circular box fairly quickly. But I did hear from enough people, and our coaches have zero interest. In fact, a couple of them find it offensive. A couple of our female sport coaches found it offensive, and so we're leaning into Herbie. Herbie obviously went on the basketball court this year, and there's very traditional branding here, but we're going to lean in more and more and more to Herbie, but we're not going to go beyond Herbie.
Yeah, so that's good to know, and get the word out on that. By the way, I did tweet out when it was unveiled, the Herbie Court. That is clean, Troy. That's a good look.
The goal, and I don't know if anybody knows this, last year a lot of us hated the court, the design of the court last year, and we tried to order basically the panels for the center, and we were going to put debut Herbie last year, and we just couldn't get it done in time, and so we just decided to wait till this year, and so it is the first of the integration. You'll see more branding from gear related to Herbie, and there's going to be a modification of Herbie for each sport for the sports to wear as well.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Talking about gear, how about those 96 throwbacks the other night? You probably have to wear them for the rest of the year, but the way that game went.
Yeah, I was going to say if they lead to shooting percentages like that, then maybe we should wear them. But no, it's pretty sharp. Between that, the blackout, I would tell you I've been a part of a lot of those type of events. Nothing ever like the blackout. One, the way our fans responded. It was spectacular, and I was getting texts from all over the country during the game. This looks amazing. I know Matt talked about it Monday about out on the road recruiting. The recruits talked about it, and at a place it's a fine line when you're trying to do fun, creative things and also honor the brand and the history. But to be able to do that, one, I thought it was great. Two, it's something we need to do every year. Now, I've spoken to the Nebraska Farm Bureau because we have an interest in that becoming a cause game of some sort. That the blackout game is on behalf of something, and we really want to tie it to farmers and agriculture in the state of Nebraska. So we've kind of asked for their help in what is it that we could tie into that game, that game always becomes, as I say, a cause game, attention-grabbing game for some ag farm cause in the state of Nebraska. So I think you'll see it. I think you'll see something attached to it next year as well.
That's great, and that's great to hear because the level of detail. I remember at one point I looked up in the game and I saw a projection of the Skull and Bones on a building on the south side, and I said I didn't even realize that until later in the game.
I wasn't aware of some of the level of detail that had been done. I think our Brandon Meyer, Courtney Gaucher and facilities, I think they just did a remarkable job of every little detail. That we wanted to paint the field overnight Friday night. We wanted people to go to bed Friday night with a red field and wake up Saturday with a black field. And with the weather and it being cold, there was worries that it wouldn't stick, so we had to do it a couple of days early. But I think there's more things we can do to have fun with it. I think the Skull and Crossbones needs to find its way onto the field someplace. So we'll see if we can notch it up again next year. But I thought Adidas did a great job with the black uniforms. The guys loved them. So it's something we're going to see in our repertoire moving forward.
Think maybe a different alteration of the black uniform or stick with the same thing? I mean, these are probably conversations that could be had another time.
Yeah, the uniforms are really a 2-year thing. So this concept was a year ago that was hatched. So not sure what there's a new style of uniform coming from Adidas. So how does that integrate with this? Kind of probably outside of my comfort zone or my knowledge zone, if you will, but I know that's something that we're working on.
And kudos to the fans, because I could tell when I was walking in Troy that, okay, they're all in on this, because there was the thought, okay, certain generations, are they going to be all in on the blackout? But they were all in.
I had so many people say it wouldn't work, but we did an alternating color out, whatever we call a stripe out in volleyball, and it looked great. And our fans will respond to anything. We gave them a lot of notice, but they came prepared. Now, it works better in a night game, and it certainly works better late in the season. Yeah. But I'd like to get to the point where, like, Penn State has a carve out in our TV deal for a night game for their whiteout. I would like to have that same carve out for our blackout moving forward. Yeah,
great stuff from yourself and your entire staff. Went all in, and it was beautiful on television. The black balloons after that first touchdown. I mean, it was cinema. Yeah. The way that played out. Fans, your Cavs deserve a strong start, and Purina Stress Care 5 delivers. Now available at Central Valley Ag. Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is here for all producers. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. We wrap it up with Troy right after this.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
1 year, 0 interest. With a qualifying seed purchase from Central Valley Ag by October 17th, you can unlock 0% financing for 1 full year on seed and crop protection. The first 10 growers to enroll this week in the CVA Go Early Seed Program will receive 100 units of free CVA Elite soybean seed treatment. Details at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Call SOS, a trustworthy company since 1950. Their technicians don't earn commission. This equals fair treatment to their customers. SOS is a family-owned third-generation company, and now to celebrate the 75th year in business for a limited time, get a New York AC or furnace for $75 per month. Get you and your loved ones comfortable again with SOS.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Call 402-391-2336.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Final segment of the Nebraska Athletic Director Show presented by Woodhouse. Reminder, coming up is the Nebraska Volleyball Show. John Baylor will chat with Danny Busboom Kelly, talk about the West Coast road trip, the matches that are coming up here for Nebraska Volleyball as they are on a historic run right now, continuing to rip along through the competition. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Kyle Crooks and Troy Denon, final segment, take you up to the top of the hour. Did want to get to this text on the text line. Mike texts in, wants to get sort of your stance on the university's stance on the private equity money deal that's been in the news.
Yeah, we probably talk for an hour. I'm going to start by saying it's not truly private equity in the way that we think of private equity, but more of a capital infusion. This has been on the discussion blocks for about a year. It was really last October. The ADs in the Big Ten said to Tony, our commissioner, we need to find new ways to generate revenue, Tony. Just say what you want, but it's a money. How do we generate new revenue? How do we generate new revenue? And so the growth, the creation of a business enterprise, and to grow the business within the business. One, to inject a capital infusion up front to help start the business, but also to bolster everyone. That's the concept behind it. It never got to the point, at least up till now, where we've had a vote. We've had our opportunity to input both good and bad, the things we like and the things we don't like. It's tough. I joke. The commissioner has 18 children sitting around the table. Each has different wants and needs and circumstances and situations, and you're never going to find anything that probably all 18 completely agree on. But our board's been involved, at least to keep them in the loop knowledge-wise. Really, this got outside the AD level to the president level fairly quickly, and President Gold and I have worked on it diligently. Whether it happens in its current form, whether it doesn't happen, or whether it happens in a new form, I have appreciated the fact that we're trying to find a different approach and attack in this new enterprise. If at some point in time, maybe there are parameters and controls that allow restrictions of spending, whether it's on salaries or whether it's on a formal, I would say, player unionization, if you will, collective bargaining type circumstance. Maybe that comes. But, in the world in which we're in right now, it's not ideal. We're guilty of it, right? I extended our football coach, because I don't want him to leave. There's a bunch of openings right now. And you probably do things that everybody would look at and say, is that the best way to spend money? And our answer sometimes has been, well, let's go find more money to spend, more money that we can invest. We just talked about trying to do the NIL work with football, and really a lot of sports here, need that additional support. I don't think this discussion is the last discussion that will be had within college athletics at the Big Ten level or even at other levels. As over time we continue to find ways to generate revenue, knowing that there's certain areas, right? The TV contracts only going to do so much, but how do you create other businesses? One of the things that we're working on here in the university is how do we find a way to create additional business opportunities inside the department. And it's bringing concerts in. We announced the Savannah Bananas. We announced the Boys from Oklahoma. We're going to announce another one, I think, on the 24th of November for next year. That is a new way to generate revenue. And do you have a separate business inside of the athletic department to do that very thing? That is a micro version of maybe what is happening at the Big Ten level. So I appreciate the creativity. I don't know if it gets there or not. But I think people are going to have to expect to hear other ways that people are trying to be entrepreneurial in generating revenue.
I appreciate you chiming in on that because there's a lot of questions that come in when things get reported. So this was a really, really fun hour. I always look forward to this opportunity to chat with you once a month. We'll see you in State College.
Yeah, I look forward to the weekend. It's a really good football team.
Yeah.
It's a really good football team. And I just want to give Bree a shout out because we have a lot of things to be proud of. Bree's unit is a unit that no one ever sees, hears, or interacts with. But I think Husker fans need to be really proud of the ways that we take care of the athletes here, and particularly from a mental health standpoint.
So that'll do it here for the Athletic Director's Show. Nebraska Volleyball Show is next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's time for the Nebraska Volleyball Coaches Show.
Here come the black and burgundy back row swing. Weejay, nice up by Harper, travels across the net. And now it's centered up by Messer, diving take Olivia. Husker volleyball fed to Taylor, needs it. Inside the double block. Boom! Woo! That's volleyball. Defense followed by transition offense. 12-6. Serve by Decker at the freshman libero. The slide, Andy Jackson, bang. Dug by the setter, forcing the libero to bump set right. Mullen swings, screen up by Andy Jackson. Rescue Olivia across the net. USC volleyball outside Weejay. Diving dig back there in the middle. That was T. Sigler outside swing. Harper block back cover with volleyball. And now a shoot set to Andy Jackson. Overdig. Huskers scatter, set up the offense. The slide. Andy Jackson. Kaboom! Woo, woo. What a rally. 7-2 Huskers. Harper Murray sails it to the back middle. Bad passer out of system. Bump set. Left roll shot across. Here come the Huskers on match point. The slide. Andy Jackson. Kaboom! We're done in L.A. 25-20, the verdict in the third. Andy Jackson and the Huskers huddle. Victorious yet again, 26-0 with 2 weeks and 4 matches to go.
Now, alongside head coach Danny Bus Boom Kelly, here's your host, John Baylor.
Greetings, Nebraska, and welcome to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. This week, special time, Tuesday, 7 o'clock, just after the Troy Dannon, Nebraska Athletic Director show. My name is John Baylor, soon to be joined by the star of this program. That would be the undefeated head coach of Nebraska Volleyball at 26-0, Danny Busboom Kelly. All right, what's on for this week? Thursday night, the Huskers host Iowa, finally back at home. The Big Red in the Devaney Center, hottest ticket in town. Iowa's 14-14, 5-11 in the conference. However, they have played 13 5-set matches this year. Iowa is 4-9 in 5-setters. Imagine if that were reversed. And get this, in the Big Ten, Iowa has played 9 5-set matches and gone 3-6. If Iowa had just gone 6-3 in the Big Ten in 5th sets, kaboom. I mean, they would be right there potentially for an NCAA tournament bid. They have gone 5 sets with Oregon. They lost at Oregon. They lost at Michigan State. They lost at Michigan. They won at home versus Rutgers. They lost at Northwestern. They won at Illinois. They lost at number 18 Indiana. They won versus Northwestern, and they lost at number 20 Minnesota. And then on Saturday, it's a 5 p.m. late afternoon start. The Big Red against Indiana, currently number 16 RPI. That means potentially, if the season were over now and the selection committee were to use the RPI when determining what the seeds would be, it would be Nebraska and Indiana in a regional semi, potentially, if both teams were to advance through the first weekend. Indiana, the number 16 RPI team, the number 17 team in the AVCA poll. They're 21-5, 12-4 in the conference. Looks like Steve Aird, head coach in his 8th year, is going to get Indiana finally to the NCAA tournament. He's been very, very close. In fact, good reason for him to be ticked off he didn't get in a couple of years back. Well, with that, let us bring in Nebraska's undefeated head coach in her first year, Danny Busboom Kelly. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, for sure.
Coach, you sound like you just realized this whole thing was about to happen and we were about to have this Husker Volleyball show, but you're still excited.
Oh, of course. Always excited for the Husker Volleyball show.
Do you get tons of feedback? Some people want to comment about the games, but do you get most of your feedback based on this program and the things that come across over the air during this 1 hour each week?
Not a lot of feedback, luckily. I get a lot of feedback other places, though.
Like where? Grocery store? Online?
Family, online, yeah. You know, family loves to chime in.
What's the family saying? Let's start with your mom and dad. What are Bonnie and Jean talking about regarding the team? Are they happy with things or kind of disappointed?
They're pretty happy. So they're loving it. All positive stuff.
Now, Gene was saying opening weekend that Penn State was a lot better than Nebraska. Has he warmed up to this team?
He has warmed up to this team. That's funny. I kind of forgot about that, but he did say that. Wow, they look a lot better than you guys. Were his exact words.
Is he your biggest critic? What member of the family is your biggest critic?
Ooh, I don't know. I'd probably say both are in different ways. My dad with sports, mom with everything else.
All right, that's Gene and Bonnie, and they're going to be there Thursday night. They're lucky they know you because it's tough to get into the Devaney.
Exactly. If they didn't know me, they do have season tickets, so
But those can be revoked. It's all about family harmony.
Exactly.
All right. Meanwhile, you got to take your husband and your son Boone on this trip to Los Angeles. Think that was helpful?
I don't say it was helpful, but it certainly is great for family morale. And, I know long trips are a little tough on the 3-year-old. So it's like, let's bring him. Let's see how it goes. He went to Nashville, but that was the first game of the year. So I felt like there wasn't a lot of video to watch. It wasn't quite the type of preparation as it is now. And anyways, long story short, he did great. We played great. I felt good. So he'll probably get invited back again.
All right. Coach, we want to talk about this fabulous Los Angeles trip. It started with UCLA on Friday night. Just the history in Pauley Pavilion. You yourself had been to Los Angeles as a coach during your 5 years with Nebraska from 2012 to 2017, an assistant coach, but you had never played in Pauley Pavilion before. What was it like in this, one of the, museums of college sports?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And just the campus and being able to stay on campus right next to the arena, just super convenient. But I thought it was fun to play in Pauley Pavilion. We had a great crowd, and there was a lot of Husker fans, which made it, feel a little bit like home. But of course, the weather wasn't very good, so that was a bummer. Other than that, though, it was great.
Meanwhile, in the first 3 sets, let's talk about your side out percentage. You hit 55%, 56%, and 44%, which is your lowest side out percentage for the year, just a little bit lower than set 2 against Kentucky way back in late August in Nashville. Was it something UCLA was doing, or was just Nebraska having an off night running their offense?
Well, I thought UCLA played great, and their middles, particularly Singletary, was having a really great night blocking and kind of causing us some fits. And then I think our rhythm got disrupted, and we just needed a little time to get it back. But luckily, the disruption didn't last very long, and we were back to humming in Game 4.
So you don't think there was anything tactically that UCLA was doing that potentially a future opponent could borrow?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just they were playing really well, and I think they scouted us like every other team scouts us. And, a lot of times, even when somebody scouts us great, our really good is still as good or better than the opponent's really good. So we can get away with some things. But if we're not at our top-notch performance, somebody can catch us a little bit.
Maggie Lee and Sheridan Leverett, they're 2 fabulous outsides, each in their careers with more than 1,000 kills, hit better than 300. What was going on with your right side block against their outsides?
I just thought their outsides are physical, and they do a nice job. They're very different. Like Sheridan Leverett's a real physical player. She was a top 10 recruit back in the day and has been so talented, been great for UCLA. So that's just a really good player. It's not going to be easy to stop her. And then Maggie Lee, I played against her and watched a lot of film on her when she was at Cal in the ACC, and she always was so good. And she was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year when Cal was in the Pac-12, and then she went on to UCLA to be great. And she's just so crafty, so smart, and they're just really different. You're going up against a really physical outside versus a very smart IQ, somebody that can tool the block outside. So that's tough. It's tough for the right side blockers because they are so, so different.
And then their offense, Terry Pettit online was talking about how Kate Duffy had a fabulous match as a setter. Did you see something from her that you hadn't seen in tape getting ready for the UCLA match?
No, I just thought she played great.
UCLA and the Huskers, it went 4-3-1 Big Red. I marvel often when a libero is able almost single-handedly to slow down Nebraska. And what impact do you think Lola Schumacher had in that match?
Oh, I thought she was fantastic. Just at the beginning of the game, she had some really great digs, and that set the tone for them. We talk about things that set the tone for our team, and when Terea Siegler gets a kill early on in the match, and I think that is a great indicator of our offense humming. Well, when Lola Schumacher gets a great dig from one of Harper's best swings, you know that they're here to play and she's ready to go, and I think that set the tone for them defensively.
Late in set 2, there was a close call. 21-19 Nebraska. Maggie Lee hits the ball out of bounds. She goes over to her head coach and Albie Reft and begs for a challenge. And he had 2 challenges left, but decided not to challenge it. 21-19 becomes 22-19. And if he had gotten a reversal, it would have been 21-20. The ensuing serve, it's an ace for Nebraska, 23-19. The set's pretty much over at that point. Were you surprised that he didn't challenge at that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I was very surprised, but touches are really hard. They tend to be very tough to see on camera, which makes it a little tough to challenge it. But even so, I was surprised that he didn't use it as at least a timeout. And, we did actually touch that ball. So lucky for us that it did not get challenged.
So it would have been a reversal. It would have been a 2-point
they would have had to see it on video, which is questionable because she did hit it like straight in the air. So it would have probably been a tough one to see on video.
All about the pixels. Now, how do you know it's a touch? When you huddle up during the challenge, do the players kind of admit what's going on, what happened? I touched it. No, I didn't.
But usually they say they're not going to see it on video, or they will see it on video. So they kind of know.
You guys camouflage that? Because what if like the floor official's pretending to look at the screen, but he's kind of eavesdropping on your conversation, and how do you make sure that's all camouflaged?
Oh, we get in a tight circle, and then, you have to be pretty good at lip reading, and it's very, almost like a ventriloquist, like talking with no lips moving.
So maybe like an offensive coordinator, you guys like cover your mouths during those huddles. Okay, so you want to make sure you're not cut, because that could be a giveaway. Or all right, so you were told there was a touch. Who was the guilty party on that one?
I honestly can't remember. I just know they're like, oh yeah, that was a touch.
But don't worry about it, Coach. Not going to catch me.
Well, they didn't even challenge it, so
it was a moot point.
Yeah.
All right. So have you ever said no to a player begging you for a challenge?
Oh, of course. I think it depends on the score or the situation, how many challenges you have left. So I've definitely said no before. And, sometimes I think coaches have a better idea of what's going to be seen on video and what's not. So
how were relations between you and that player for the next game or so? How long did it take to kind of patch things up after you said no to a group?
Players usually get it because they know. I mean, with only 2 challenges, too, you don't want to be wasting them.
So in that match, the Husker right side and second outside struggled. It was Virginia Adriano, and then Ali Check came in for Virginia, and then Taylor Landfair. Offensively, they struggled. And then against USC, both were on fire, put up huge offensive numbers. So I'm just wondering, is that just is that correlated? Is it causal? Are they indicators? Like with all our attention on the All-Americans, Harper and Andy and Bergen, are those really the players whose offensive production is most indicative of how Nebraska will play that day?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think Virginia played poorly. I think it's interesting that that narrative got out. She had, like 5 attempts. So I feel like she would have finished the match on a great note. But we wanted to get Allie in. That was our plan going into that game, to get Allie some quality playing time. And I thought Taylor, same with her, didn't get the best opportunities early on. And then against USC, just a little bit of a game plan to set her early on some good passes, get her rolling. And like I said, we knew Virginia would be fine.
So Danny Busman Kelly, close set 2. If they get that challenge in a reverse, it's a 1-point ball game, 21-20 late in the second. Then you drop set 3, 25-19, siding out at just a 44% percentage. You pull Bergen over at the end of set 3. What was that conversation about? Or can you share that with us?
It wasn't anything groundbreaking. It was just, we're talking 4 days ago, JB. I don't remember. It was, hey, let's get back to playing our game. We have to work a little bit harder. We're getting outworked, and we got plenty of time to turn this around and end on a high note.
Do you remember what the huddle was like after set 3? And this has not happened in more than 2 months.
No, I do not remember.
Okay. When we come right back, we're going to talk about USC as the Big Red swept USC 2 days after taking down UCLA in 4. This one is brought to you by Central Valley Ag. Your calves deserve a strong start, and Purina Stress Care 5 delivers. Now available at Central Valley Ag. Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is here for all producers. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. And contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy. It is the law. Nebraska, 811 2 days before you dig. Stay right there. More Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Get ready to tackle your agricultural challenges with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.
When it comes to irrigation, only the best will do. That's why growers trust Valley Genuine Parts. Gearboxes, center drives, sprinklers, tech, and more. The parts you rely on most for any pivot, any brand, all from Valley. And now save $50 on your next purchase of Valley Genuine Parts or service. Claim online at valleyirrigation.com/parts. Your Valley dealer has the inventory you need, plus expert inspections and fast, reliable service. Claim your $50 savings today at valleyirrigation.com/parts.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
When it comes to irrigation, only the best will do. That's why growers trust Valley Genuine Parts. Gearboxes, center drives, sprinklers, tech, and more. The parts you rely on most for any pivot, any brand, all from Valley. And now save $50 on your next purchase of Valley Genuine Parts or service. Claim online at valleyirrigation.com/parts. Your Valley dealer has the inventory you need, plus expert inspections and fast, reliable service. Claim your $50 savings today at valleyirrigation.com/parts.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $32.50 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and $0 down.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. I'm John Baylor with the head coach, Danny Buston. Hey, big news. We got a request through the mailbag, through Twitter, now called X, that we would take these Nebraska Volleyball shows and turn them into podcasts. So here's how you can find the podcast version of this Nebraska Volleyball Show. And that would be just go to your favorite platform where you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, and then search Huskers Radio Network, and boom, we're going to be right there. I'm John Baylor, continuing our conversation with the head coach of Nebraska Volleyball, Danny Buston Kelly. Both of us excited to get to the mailbag for more questions momentarily. But let's talk about this USC matinee. The place was packed for a 12 noon local time start, and the Huskers just came out rolling. Do you think the adversity from Friday night has had a happy carryover ever since?
I feel like it had a pretty good carryover. We played really well. We felt like we really wanted to, make a statement. I thought the crowd, getting amped up because there's so many Husker fans there was huge. So a lot of reasons why we came out on fire.
How do you guys feel about UCLA trumpeting online that they, in fact, taken a set off Nebraska? A huge deal.
Nobody on our team said a word about it.
Okay. All right. So what was the secret for USC in that match? Because it was not particularly close, 25-13, 25-16, and 25-20, holding USC to just a 1.56 attack percentage.
Honestly, we've just worked harder. I thought our team played great defense, and that's a good indication of how hard we're going to work. I thought Bergen played great. So just a combo of just being better on both sides of the ball and, making every point count.
In that match, more balance from Nebraska, 10 kills for Harper, 10 for Taylor, 10 for Virginia, 9 for Rebecca, 8 for Andy Jackson. I get asked, and you should be the one being asked, how do we know when the setter is playing a great match? What are the indicators to the layperson who's kind of watching the attackers and the ball hitting the ground and the cheering, and at the end of the match they hear, the setter played a great match? What were the indicators that they missed during the match
I think balance is really important, and that the setters are feeling comfortable to set anybody at any time. I think a setter, if they're going back and hitting their serve, that means they're playing well and feeling confident. I think there's a lot of indicators. I think those might change from game to game. Are we really following the game plan, or are we just reverting to what's comfortable? We're setting go balls or setting one player all the time. So really, balance probably would be the biggest indicator, especially for this team. But sometimes we have a specific game plan, so you can't say that every single match.
Some game plans suggest that you want Bergen to go to one or two players primarily and not be particularly balanced.
Yeah, it depends on if they have a big weakness blocking. It's why would we switch it up if we have a player that we think can dominate in this zone?
Now, you got Manayo Beche in there. She's an LA native. And when she went in there, a bunch of people stood up. So we knew she had 4 younger siblings, but she's got a bigger family than that. They were all standing up going crazy. She gets a kill right away. Then she gets a block right away. And the players that were on the bench at the time, and there are 11 of them, sprint out there. I thought they were going to go on the court as if they had won the final rally. What was your reaction to the reaction of your players to that big block?
I thought it was awesome. Just a total team, teammates supporting teammates, and that block was very, very impressive. So to see her just absolutely, it was like she unleashed on that block. So there's no chance to cover it. So not only was everybody excited for her being home in front of her family to make some great plays, but that good of a block, I think, set everybody over the top.
Danny Busboom Kelly joining us for team 26-0, 16-0 in the conference, and 4 matches, 2 weekends to go. Thursday night, Iowa 7 o'clock at the Devaney. Saturday, late afternoon, 5 o'clock against Indiana. The Hoosiers are number 17 in the ABCA, number 18 in the RPI. Now, Coach, I got to ask you about this upcoming SEC conference tournament. This is pretty remarkable. On Friday, you're going to have in Savannah, Georgia, all 16 SEC teams start this tournament, and seeds 9 through 16 will play each other. The 4 winners then on Saturday will play seeds 5 through 8. The 4 winners then on Sunday will play seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4, Kentucky, Texas, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. Those 2 winners will play the semifinals on Monday, and the championship will be on Tuesday. So from Friday night till Tuesday, I think the volleyball world is largely going to be focused on the SEC in this big tournament in Savannah, Georgia. And how interested are you in seeing how this all turns out, what kind of tension it gets?
Yeah, super interested. I think it's going to kind of set a precedent for the other conferences if this is something we might want to do. I think there's pros and cons, of course, like anything. It's great for the sport. It's hopefully great TV ratings. We'll see. But you lose some home games. It really makes it hard to play that many games in a row right before the tournament, NCAA tournament. However, they're done by Tuesday, so they have a big break. But on top of that big break, sometimes that's good and bad, to have 12 days off before you play your next match. That's pretty unique in our sport. So very curious how it plays out. I think the SEC has been an unbelievably strong conference this year. Anything could really happen. And I think those top 4 seeds, any 4 of them could win easily. There's not a clear favorite in that tournament, which makes it even more fun and hopefully, a good thing for the sport of volleyball that somebody's not going to go in there and dominate the whole tournament.
Carlin Grand Island wants to hear from the coach on her former team, Louisville. Louisville was ahead of the opponent when they were called for out of rotation. Who for Nebraska is responsible for noticing when a team is out of rotation, and how many points can a team lose if out of rotation?
That's really on the players to know. It's kind of on all the coaches, but it's really a brain fart for the players if they're out of rotation, especially if they're just standing there. Sometimes you might get called out of rotation for leaving early, but usually refs are pretty good. If they feel like you're doing it too much, they'll warn you. So typically the refs will give a warning and then call an out of rotation. Sometimes they don't. So we don't have anybody directly in charge of that, but you can only lose 1 point. It's just like an error goes down as an error on the stats. So 1 point, it's not worth more than 1.
So out of rotation, sets over, you lose. Yeah. It's just a single point penalty for being out of rotation. And the key is you got to make sure your feet are crossed, correct? Or next to each other.
Yes.
So you can't have space, but if you're supposed to be the left of Jane and my bottom line is this, if you're not, your feet aren't crossed and you're on the wrong side of her, that's
out of rotation. Yep.
Can you give a slightly more sophisticated explanation
No,
than I
it's just like you got to stay in your spot and you can't leave early.
And leaving early would be prior to the serve.
Serve, yes. So you have to wait till contact.
Yeah, once the ball's airborne, you can roll.
It's kind of like softball, right? You can't leave the base until the ball's out of the pitcher's hand. You could get called for leaving early. Isn't that a thing?
It totally is a thing.
Yeah, so same thing. If the ball has to hit the server's hand, then you can leave.
I never dreamed Danny Busboom Kelly would ask me a softball question, but this is an exciting moment.
Well, that was a little bit of sarcasm.
But how often in softball do they cheat and leave the bases early, and how often in volleyball they do
Probably
the same
a
thing?
lot, but I'm guessing the same with volleyball. The ump is probably like, hey, you're leaving early too much. The next one I'm going to call. So that's what happens in volleyball.
With softball, you got a huge advantage. Is there much of an advantage to leave a little early?
Oh, for sure. And when you're on serve receive, there's an advantage. Especially like liberos trying to poach balls. So, before I got to Nebraska, Lexi Rodriguez was trying to poach everything, and there'd be players standing out of bounds for Nebraska when the serve was hit. And I was like, how's this not getting called? So it happens a lot in volleyball. And like Andy Jackson, if she can leave early and get over to the right side of the court to run a more efficient slide, of course you want to toe the line pretty tight. But when you're serving, there's no advantage. So like in the pros, you can stand wherever you want when you are serving. Now, when you're receiving serve, you have to be in rotation.
No, hold on. Many of us were not aware that Lexi was infringing the rules of volleyball when she was playing here. Now, walk us through again. What was she doing that wasn't...
Oh, here we go. So she was just like, when they were serving, she was trying to push a player out so she could take the serve. So, okay, they're lining up. They're trying to serve Harper. Okay, Lexi can see that. So she's going to start creeping over there, and Harper's going to start creeping out of her spot slowly.
Gotcha.
But if you do that before the serve is actually hit, that's out of rotation. But it's very hard to call, even when you watch, because there's so many moving parts. So even when you watch on video, it's like, well, it can look bad live, but it's really not that bad on video. So that's why it does not get called very often.
Which team gets called for out of rotation more often, the serving team or the receiving team?
Receiving team. Now,
Because
we did get
poaching,
called when
you're
I was at
just
Louisville as the serving team, and I thought that was a poor call by the official.
And when was this?
And then in the national championship game.
You got called for being out of rotation.
When we were serving, and our DS was just standing on the wrong side.
Did you get a yellow card?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Have you ever gotten a yellow card?
One.
What happened?
I don't. We don't need to go down memory lane.
All right, we're going to keep going to the mailbag on this your Nebraska volleyball show. Huskers undefeated, #1 in the country, getting ready to face Indiana Saturday and Iowa at home on Thursday. We'll be right back after this.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole: Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
At Hogemeyer, we're raising the bar on yield performance, bringing world-class traits and genetics to these local fields. With the exceptional corn rootworm control and proven powerful yields of new Vorce seed-enlist corn. The unsurpassed flexibility and protection against above-ground pests with PowerCore enlist corn. And other next-gen corn hybrids built to perform and boost your yields. It's time to raise a better crop. View Hogemeyer products at therightseed.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Drives us, Sid Dillon.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
Get 0.9% plus $32.50 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and $0 down.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hey, this is brought to you by League One Volleyball, which is coming to Omaha this January, featuring Olympic gold medalist Jordan Larson. The 2026 Love Nebraska volleyball schedule is here. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes like Lexi Rodriguez, Jordan. View the full schedule at lovebneb.com/schedule, lovebneb.com/schedule. And Sports Nightly listeners are reminded that with every block on the court this season, Union Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor Blocking Out Hunger, benefiting the Food Bank of Lincoln. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC. All right, Danny Bostrom, Kelly, head coach of Nebraska volleyball. This comes from Eric at Husker Insanity. Whoa. Eric wants to know, during your playing days, who on your team would have enjoyed posting videos on Instagram and TikTok a lot?
Who would have enjoyed it, or who would have I enjoyed it with?
Yeah, who was born too early and missed out on this whole I'm a Husker and TikTok is here and I'm going to start singing syncing to songs and putting music behind me and then posting, and then we're going to do some loop-de-loop dances and post it and get a million likes. Who was born too early?
That is a great question. I would say, like, Danny Mancuso, I feel like would have been a great on social media. She would have been funny, and she was a pretty good dancer too, so that fits for TikTok.
She'd done the noodle. You guys are pretty good at the noodle. Like they're just getting ready. Now, like Harper and her buddies, they get in front of this and they just do kind of a loop-de-loop and then 500,000 likes.
I know, it's wild.
And then if they do like a little flapping wing thing, another 100,000. I mean,
I feel like you should get on there and make a parody account just teasing all the people making TikToks. And I feel like that could get some good momentum going.
I recently learned about getting ready with Maisie. Have you heard about this?
Oh, yes.
Maisie's getting ready, and she's she's putting on product and all this stuff, and everyone's hammering the like. They're going crazy, and like the thumbs, the upward bound thumbs are flying. Anyway, I'm thinking getting ready with JB.
No, Kelly and I should start a parody account. Like, let's just tease the players. Everything they do, we'll make another one that'll be kind of joking. I think the fans would love it.
I agree. When does this start? Is this going to be before the Iowa match?
Maybe.
Before you put on that, what's that red floral jacket you like to wear? Before you throw that on, then you start getting ready with Danny Busman Kelly.
We got a lot of ideas for next year. Brennan and I are big popcorn fans, so we are going to do popcorn reviews of everywhere we go. Nice. We started that a little too late, and then it was awkward. We're like, we gotta think about this before we really go all in on the popcorn review, because Terea and Ryan Hunter have the Gatorade review. So I was like, let's take it up a notch. Let's go popcorn review.
Okay. I don't know if you need actually a lot of forethought, come to think of it. I think these things are pretty
have
big.
Categories like crunchiness, how much butter, saltiness.
Smart. And the key is to bring Bergen in. Bergen's always kind of on the side doing her little hula hoopy arm things, and that people like that too.
We'll definitely make sure the players get in there so we can get the likes hammered, as you like to say.
That's my role on social media. I just hammer the likes and get out of there. All right. Meanwhile, if you had to vote right now for Big Ten Coach of the Year, I got 6 candidates for you. Ready? Okay.
Don't you ask me this every show?
Some people missed last week's show. All right. So Trent Kirsten, Oregon, Kristen Kelsey, Michigan State, Dave Shondell, Purdue, Keegan Cook, Minnesota, Steve Aird, Indiana, Danny Busman Kelly, Nebraska.
Well, I can't vote for myself, so that's out. But
you would have never won for 4th grade class president. But anyway, go ahead.
I thought that is the rule for the coach voting. You cannot vote for yourself or anybody on your team. So I'm going to apply those rules. But yes. I got to go with Trent Kirsten. Just, man, only returning one player, doing what they're doing. I think they're playing great late. It's not a team that fizzled out. So I got to go with him. But it's a tight race. A lot of great coaching jobs under some interesting circumstances this year in the Big Ten.
I think it still would have been fun to go to an Oregon team meeting back in January. Just one player shows up. All righty. Speaking of Oregon, they beat Purdue, number 9 in the country, and their RPI drops from 49th to 51st. Meanwhile, North Carolina is ranked in the ABCA number 15, but in RPI, they're number 41. What's your feeling about the RPI?
It's just an easy thing to kind of game a little bit. Not easy, but if you schedule right, it's based on wins, you can get some big boosts from some teams that aren't ranked because their RPI is good. So, but I understand that there's really not a perfect way to measure a team when everybody's not playing each other.
How do you game it? Like, how do you, are you familiar with exactly what the attributes they're looking for?
Not really, but I just know you want to play teams that get a lot of wins. So, like a team like Northern Iowa, who typically wins their conference, they could upset some, top 25 teams in the non-conference. That's a great team to play because you're going to get a great RPI boost and you're going to take all their wins in with you.
Your Nebraska Volleyball Show is brought to you by Woodhouse, always a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. And the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is not only swanky, it is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Final thoughts with the head coach, Danny Busman Kelly, on your Nebraska Volleyball Show after you hear this.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
Game-changing technology is just a phone call away. When your office technology isn't playing nice and you need expert help, give Hamilton Business Technologies a shout. We are the official business IT partner of the Huskers, and we are your partner for IT support. From on-site or remote managed IT services to business phone systems and proactive cybersecurity solutions, Nebraska businesses trust us when they need expert help. When your technology playbook needs a rewrite, think of Hamilton Business Technologies and visit us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Central Valley Ag, starting calves strong means setting up your success. Purina Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is now available. Help your herd thrive with proven performance you can count on. Right now, when you buy 2 tons or more, you'll get a free mug, limit 1 per purchaser. Start them strong. Harness the benefits. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back to your Nebraska Volleyball Show. Hope you've been with us all 2 hours. We had the athletic director just prior at this hour, the head coach of Nebraska Volleyball, Danny Busboom Kelly. My name's John Baylor, reminding you, Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Danny Busboom Kelly, head coach of the Big Red, getting ready for Iowa Thursday night at home, and then Sunday late afternoon on the road against ranked number 16, hold everything, number 17, Indiana out there in Bloomington. Coach, staying with the RPI, you've got 7 Big Ten teams which seem to be guaranteed to make the NCAA tournament because typically RPI, if you're higher than 45, 46, 47, 48, you're on the bubble and possibly out. But if you're lower, 44, 43, 42, you're probably in. And that would be Nebraska, Wisconsin, Purdue, USC, Indiana, Minnesota, and Penn State. They seem pretty guaranteed to be in. But I want your thoughts on these bubble teams for the Big Ten. Michigan, for the moment, number 35. UCLA, 38. Michigan State, 42. Illinois, 44. Washington, 50. Oregon, 51. Do you think maybe of those 6 to get in? Maybe Michigan and UCLA or Michigan State?
I feel like, yes, they will get in. I think those teams have a pretty good resume, and you can't fault them for kind of beating up on each other. So we'll see. You never really know what the committee is going to do or what they're going to value. I know top 50 wins are super important, and I would not know like who those teams beat in the non-conference, who is going to end up being top 50. So, anyways, we'll see. I would think 2 of them would get in.
You are 3 matches ahead in the Big Ten conference race over Purdue and Wisconsin. You win on Thursday night, you're guaranteed a share. You win then again on Saturday. It's Nebraska's 3rd consecutive and Big Ten championship and 6th overall since joining the conference in 2011 versus a national championship. How close is a Big Ten title in priority for you and the team?
I don't think it's very close at all. A Big Ten title is just a icing on the cake. I feel like a reward for a great season, but people forget about that Big Ten title pretty quickly when the national champion is crowned.
Will there be a trophy ready to go in case you win on Thursday night against Iowa?
No, I don't think we're going to celebrate a shared, championship, and especially when there's plenty of time left and when we finish up our season with 2 games at home. So it seems a little premature. If we weren't at home that last weekend, I would say yes. We'd want to celebrate it with our fans. But since we have 2 other opportunities, we'll probably wait even if we do win on Thursday.
You have 4 more regular season matches, at most 10 more matches left in this year. Do you coach any differently now? And do you coach any differently once December starts?
I think we plan practices a little differently. We'll get into playing a lot quicker and game planning. We've done our training. Of course, we're always going to brush up on the basics, but those little bursts of training might be shorter. As we want to get through things a little bit quicker. We know school's getting tougher, the weather's changing, people are getting run down. We just came off a time zone, so we don't want to be in the gym for 3.5 hours tonight. We want to make sure we're in and out, efficient, and we're focused on our opponent and maybe 1 or 2 things that we can do better from the weekend.
You have 4 seniors on your team with at most 10 matches left in their college careers. Allie Check, Maisie Bosinger, star of Getting Ready with Maisie, Taylor Landfair, and Rebecca Alec. They know what's at stake. They're feeling it. Do you go speak with them individually, or you don't need any special communications with those who are finishing up their careers in the next?
Yeah. I don't think there's really any special communications. It's going to be an awesome senior night, of course, and celebrating their careers, and we'll chat with them. But 10 games seems short, but they have a lot of games in Devaney left, which is exciting, and we'll have those emotional conversations closer to the end.
Iowa, a hugely improved team. We should have probably had Jim Barnes in the list of 7 who are candidates for Conference Coach of the Year. They're probably going to be left out of the NCAA tournament, but they're 14-14, 5-11 in the conference, and there are those 13 5-set matches. 6 of their last 7 matches have gone 5. Is this a scary team?
For sure. I think any team that continues to play well, like you said, they know they're probably out of the tournament, but they're continuing to battle and push teams and just beat Purdue. So it's a team that is playing well, and they obviously have outside motivators besides the NCAA tournament to continue with what they're doing. So I think they'll be ready for us and excited, and playing with nothing to lose is also there's something freeing about that.
Indiana's got 4 wins against ranked teams. Real quickly, how much preparation are you going to put in for Indiana and when?
A ton of preparation. We'll start on them today. I mean, they have a super fast offense, by far the fastest we played, so it takes a while to prep for a team like that. So we'll start early with them, and thankful for the day off between the matches to have a little extra refresh on Friday.
Danny Busman-Kelly, thanks so much. Best of luck Thursday and Sunday and
Thank
Saturday.
you.
That's the head coach of Nebraska volleyball, trying to go 27 and then 28-0 this week. Illinois, hold everything. Iowa on Thursday night, and then Indiana on the road on Saturday. For my producer, Josh Elkerman, my name is John Baylor. Good night, Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A little more slack. Plug it in.
Whoever said work smarter, not harder, didn't realize you could do both.
0.9% plus $32.50 cash on F-150 or lease F-150 for $499 a month and 0 down.
At Central Valley Ag, starting calves strong means setting up your success. Purina Stress Care 5 with RX3 immune support technology is now available. Help your herd thrive with proven performance you can count on. Right now, when you buy 2 tons or more, you'll get a free mug, limit 1 per purchaser. Start them strong. Harness the benefits. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
As the world's largest family-owned and operated manufacturer of grain storage, drying, and handling equipment, Sukup Manufacturing Company has led the way in innovation, offering top-quality products that empower farmers to thrive. Set yourself up for success with Sukup, where innovation meets reliability. Visit sukup.com today to find a dealer near you.